LaSalle. Here. Howell. Here. Dipper. Here. Fagan.
Here. Do we have any emergency resolutions?
No, we do not.
Okay. We'll have public participation for 30 minutes. At 6, we're interested in addressing the legislature. Please raise your hand. State your name. I'll call on you. Please try to be brief since we've got a pretty good sized crowd. Joseph.
I live in Burdett, contractor, Schuyler County. I will be brief. I already sent the legislature a letter that details laws contained in the resolution in favor of LPG storage. In fact, this document is so riddled with inaccuracies that if this were such a serious matter, it is laughable. I hope you read my letter carefully, but to reiterate, the DEC has not finalized the environmental impact statement, nor have they issued an underground storage permit. Don't take my word for it, I'll take it over like I did. Legislate towards a vote, a yes vote on this resolution is not only a vote against the majority of the constituents and over 200 members of the local business community who will
After New York, appreciate your listening. The grape wine region in this area is arguably the premier grape growing region on the East Coast. And the tourist industry in the Finger Lakes is over a $3 billion a year industry. You cannot industrialize this area and keep this tourist industry going. You cannot have the largest landfill on the north end of the lake, the largest gas storage on the south end of the lake, and industrialize all the way in between and think this will retain and grow in tourist dollars. The real dollars are tourist dollars. And I would also like to ask, and I hope we get some investigative journalism going here, what local politicians are directly or indirectly making money off of this deal, through their firms or directly. We would like to know that, and I think it's incumbent upon them to come clean on this. So that's number 2. Number 3, this is just the return on investment for all of us. We've worked hard to build this into the premier grape growing winery region it has become. Please do not ruin this. You can't have it both ways. You cannot industrialize the area and have it as a tourist industry. You can't do it. Sooner or later, one is going to break.
I'd like to just clarify a few issues that have been brought up about the cavern integrity in the thirst tax and other issues. Well, 58 is a concern that's been brought up that it was collapsed, the roof collapsed, and filled the cavern with rubble, therefore making it unstable for natural gas storage. We received a permit from DEC, re-drilled out the cavern, found that the cavern was intact, it wasn't collapsed. It was due to some sonar issues that they had with the old tools, and they couldn't sonar through pipe to get us in. So that cavern is intact, the cavern rock is intact. It's been tested, witnessed by the EPA and the DEC, put back into solution mining service and solution mining. Also, there's another one with our Gallery 2 issue. It's about the 400
resident for 40 years, worked here in Salt for 6 years. I've been involved in a lot of safety committees through the plant, and it's given me the advantage to get a chance to tour storage facilities. And as you go through and they explain how they operate, how they work, and the safety equipment, and the backup equipment, it's no wonder they've been doing it all these years without any problems. And there's no reason to believe that they can't continue. There's a lot of people, that are against it, and any issue, any big issue you have, there's going to be for and against. But I did a lot of talking and walking. I did the streets of Watkins Glen and Montour while this process has been going on. And I almost believe that I speak for the silent majority. I mean, a lot of people I talk to I can't believe, I mean, imagine stories, I can't believe the horror stories I'm hearing, because this has been going on for years and years and years. This is going to happen. Why didn't it happen already? So I think, when it comes to this issue of
My name is Paul Gibson, and I'm a physician assistant. I've practiced medicine in this county for almost 30 years, and taking care of many of your families. I'm here to represent the concerned healthcare professionals of Schuyler County. It is not alarmist nor hysterical to say that the health of our residents is in jeopardy if this project goes forward. The emissions from the predicted truck and rail traffic will inevitably increase air pollution in our and nearby communities, which is toxic to our hearts and lungs, and over time will increase preterm birth, asthma, respiratory, and heart disease, not to mention the health impact if this watershed is harmed. Potential catastrophic accidents may overwhelm our beloved Schuyler Hospital and emergency personnel. Your responsibility is to this community and not to a corporation in Texas. As healthcare professionals, we implore the members of this body to vote against the resolution. Voting against the project would represent the finest act of preventive medicine for your residents.
Why would common sense dictate that this would be fine to expand the caverns, but left out the part about their expanding into a cavern that's already been ruled geologically unstable and unsafe by the Department of Energy? Mr. Moon talked about how they have sonars that show how safe it is, but he left out the part that they're concealing them, fighting to keep them a secret, and no independent expert is allowed to review them. We just have their word for it and their willful refusal to release the information. My question for you is, have you thought about the potential for recurring liability here in Schuyler County with your vote today? Right now, you have no emergency preparedness whatsoever. I have 10 Freedom of Information requests on you repeatedly. I know you have no training, no equipment. Your Schuyler County Emergency Manager doesn't even have a map of that facility. There's all kinds of accidents that can happen, from train derailments to tanker truck collisions, pipe ruptures, gas migrating through the salt into town. And by the way, these kinds of accidents have happened at these facilities all over the place, so why we should be exempt is a mystery to me. With your previous stance, it's not our jurisdiction. If there would be an accident to the lawsuits, you would have a mitigating thing to say, which is, we didn't want it, we didn't bring it, and we had no say in it. But if you take this vote, I would ask you, are you incurring liability for the county to have both requested the facility here and made no preparation whatsoever for what would ensure the safety of the citizens if it comes? Under those circumstances, I think you would be begging for lawsuits and for great judgments against you. And I wonder if you have taken that thought into account when you made this vote. Thank you.
Our first responders have been training on propane emergencies, transport vehicles, train vehicles, over-the-road trucks. We've trained on that. We've done scenarios. Have we done scenarios exactly for Crestwood? Absolutely not, as he requested in this FOIL request. But we run drills. We've done mass casualty drills at the hospital, with the ambulance service, with the fire departments. These first responders are trained. So you guys have a tough vote here tonight. I'm not here to save one.
As a native of this gracious land of Schuyler, I grew up with the benefits of this wondrous place. As an adult, I traveled the world, spent a decade of my career as a physician building my beautiful family. I have practiced medicine in areas of the world where people do not have access to clean air and clean water. And I cannot imagine a similar fate for our community. As a doctor and a mother in this vibrant community, I shake with disbelief that this body of community leaders would vote to risk the welfare and safety of each and every one of us.
The 40 minutes are up. We'll
I have visited both facilities here at US Salt and met with the folks at Crestwood at US Salt, and I was impressed. I've also visited the site in Savannah, and I was impressed. I attended meetings as a Rotarian. I provided counterpoint. I had the energy people there last year. I had Joe Campbell there as my guest a few weeks ago to present the other side of the issue to the business people in this community to provide the awareness that is necessary for this community to understand. So to the opponents and others, I'm aware of the issues. I recognize and understand your concerns. I understand your concerns regarding tourism. I recognize and understand your concerns regarding transportation, including truck, rail, pipeline issues. And I understand your issues regarding noise and the flare state. To the supporters of the issue, I recognize and understand your concern regarding increased tax base to the county, regarding employment, and regarding job retention. This is a democracy in action here this evening. The same government that gives you the right to protest openly is the same government that takes action with a simple vote. I ask that all of you respect both sides of the issue, irregardless of the outcome, and treat one another with dignity. We, the folks at this table, will be voting in the next few.
Gas goes out on the highways or on the railroad, it's not their responsibility. Do they want an accident? Of course not. But the problem is that it's not their responsibility, it's our responsibility. And honestly, right from the beginning, I was very clear. There's two things that really worry me. Because emergency management plans can't address specific dangers. If you look at Yates County or Chemung County, they have a lot of different specific situations. A bank by the side of the stream that may fall into the stream and flood houses. Those kinds of situations. And what my concerns here are the trestle in the Glen. If tank cars fall off of that with liquid propane gas, we need to know what is the consequence of that. And I know we've had a lot of discussions in this legislature. It's like, well, that's a very low probability. Okay, I understand it's low, but we need to know what the consequences are. And we need to understand that if liquid propane starts flowing down that stream and it goes right down that deep glen and comes out right here on the courthouse lawn, how long do we have to evacuate the jail and the sheriff's office and the emergency management office itself and all the other county employees? I mean, we need to know the answer to these questions. Only then can we make an informed decision. Now, I say informed decision because, of course, emergency managers don't dictate what happens. They always prepare to respond. And I understand that.
Expansion project by Arlington. There's some reference regarding ethics. I've seen some letters that had asked that I recuse myself, or that there was a conflict of interest between myself and my former employment. I was owner of Fagan Engineers in Elmira, New York. We worked with, specifically with Talisman. We designed pipeline and erosion control plans, bore pipelines. We oversaw the construction of major compressor stations throughout the northern tier of Pennsylvania. I sold my business to my employees at the end of 2012. I have absolutely no involvement with the management of Fagan Engineers since then. I would also like to point out that I have said on numerous occasions that I do not support fracking in the Finger Lakes, specifically here in Schuyler County, within the Seneca Lake watershed. The reason for that is twofold. First, from a technical basis,
out from the party and support of it. And I believe it's very important that those people have a voice in it too. I've received many letters, and I'm just going to read one from Jim Haslett. To the Schuyler County Legislature from Jim Haslett. I find it scary being the oldest member of the Hazlitt family and worry about the well-being of my future generations. We settled on a dairy farm in Mecklenburg in the 1700s and then moved along Seneca Lake in the village of Hector in 1852. Our family now has orchards, vineyards, and 2 wineries. We make our living on the people who travel to this area because of the natural beauty of the land and lake, as well as our award-winning wine. If we mess up the land and the lake, we are all in serious trouble. Please think about the future, all of our children and their children's children. Don't take this special place away from them. Sincerely, Jim Haslett.
Why should we have our hard-earned money flow to the Mideast, many of whom have vowed to annihilate us? Why not have it remain here in this country and be self-sufficient, independent, and continue to innovate?
It's not my website, because I have nothing to do with the management of the company now. I do not own any of the company.
Just stinks.
The construction. And my other point is, do you feel a little responsible if there was an accident? I mean, do you feel at all responsible for doing this?
Advocating for the salt company. I advocated for the salt company. I was around when Mr. Coop and my dad were friends. So this town means a great deal to me. And I think that the silent majority needs to be educated on gas, not salt. We're all supporting salt. That's right.
In response to that, the gas has been here since 1960.
The county voted unanimously, asked the DEC to recite this storage, work with Crestwood. We stand exactly the same today, as well as the city of Geneva, the county of Ontario, Yates County, the city of Geneva, the town of Waterloo, and soon other towns in Seneca County. What I didn't hear a discussion of too much of tonight was the water. Seneca Lake. I mean, if we lose Seneca Lake, right, then it won't be the Finger Lakes, it'll be the Fingerless Lakes. We may plan for trains coming off the trestle or a truck coming down the hill, but I didn't hear anybody talking about anything happening to that lake that serves and provides drinking water for over 100,000 people. Half of our county, half of the lake falls in Seneca. So this is a regional issue. I'm not against this legislature by any measure. Our vote was not against Schuyler County or the legislature. It's against the plan, this dangerous plan. We've seen accidents time and time again with systems that are highly engineered. Take fail, Columbia fail, Fukushima fail, on and on and on. These systems with redundancy and backup built in over and over and over fail. These salt caverns were not designed